As I'm recording this, oil is above $100 a barrel. The Strait of Hormuz, which controls 20% of world's oil supply, is disrupted, and all the global markets are tumbling. My portfolio dropped 6% since late Feb, and I'm recording this video just so that you are aware what's happening and what needs to be done as part of your investment strategy during this unpredictable times. Whether to panic sell or buy the dip, and by the end of this video, you will have a clear idea. But before we dive in, I need to take a moment, because some things are more important than any video. Right now, millions of people in the Middle East have lost their homes, safety, and everything they've ever known, all because of war. And the simple fact that you're here watching this and I'm here making this, it's a privilege that should not be taken for granted. So if you're in a position to help in any way, in any small way, remember, anything helps. Personally, I donate through Muslim Around the World, MATW project, and the Muslim Aid Australia, not because I'm sponsored or anything else. It's just I find these platforms easy and trustworthy, and wanted to share this in any way it helps, or you're looking for somewhere to start. You can use their services. I'll put their link in the description so that if you want to donate, you can donate through those services. But really, it doesn't have to be them. You can use any way you can. The important thing is we don't look away during this tough time. Remember, we're the lucky ones, and sometimes with luck comes responsibility. Okay, now let's get back to the video. On 28 February 2026, the US and Israel launched joint strike against Iran, and Iran obviously retaliated and shut down traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. Now, the Strait of Hormuz carries 20% of world's oil supply. When it closes, the energy market just chokes. Oil prices have surged roughly 50% since the Iran war began. Brent crude hit $112 a barrel. S&P is down over 5%. The Dow Jones is down nearly 7%. The International Energy Agency called this the greatest energy security challenge in modern history. 6 months of gain gone in weeks. So the fear is real, but fear is exactly when investors lose their cool and make the worst decisions. The people are scared, and there's a very good reason for this. You need to be cautious, right? Higher oil prices will push up the cost of everything. They'll force the central banks to raise rates. Higher rates will crush stock valuation. It's a domino effect. JP Morgan estimates that due to higher oil prices, it could tank the S&P 500 by 15%. The last time oil was weaponized like this was back in 1973. S&P 500 fell over 40%. It was a bear market for years. But what's the difference this time? We'll get to that in a moment, but the risk is real and you need to be calm. So let's see what the last 80 years tells us about the market during these times. Markets have survived every major war in the last 80 years. Every single one. Across 20 major post-World War II military conflicts, the S&P 500 fell an average of just 6% from initial peak and recovered to pre-conflict levels in an average of 28 days. 28 days, not years, not months, just 28 days. Now let's see the pattern. During the Gulf War in 1990, the S&P 500 declined roughly 10 to 17%, but rebounded strongly within months, ultimately finishing the year up over 20%. Following the 9/11 in 2001, market dropped sharply but recovered within approximately 2 months, delivering over 20% gains. During the Iraq War in 2003, similar pattern. Equities declined, but nearly 27% gains. And the very recent 2022 Russia versus Ukraine war, oil surged, European stocks crashed, the S&P 500 fell, fully recovered. And similar pattern during October 2023 Gaza genocide. The S&P 500 was down, but later it recovered and made 32.2% gains. You see, the market is similar. The pattern is similar. Initially, there is a sell-off because obviously there is a chaos. But when there is clarity, with time it recovers. The Oxford Economics forecast this war will not last beyond 2 months. If they're right, the recovery will be sharp. So what do you do during this time? What do you do with your money? Well, take my word with a grain of salt, because I don't know the future. In fact, no one can tell you the future. And this is not a financial advice. This is just for educational purpose only. For investors with the right time horizon, these are the areas to consider. Gold. Gold is a classic war hedge. JP Morgan's year-end target is $6,300 per ounce. Gold ETF like GLD or IAU are the simplest way to get you an exposure without actually storing the physical gold. S&P 500 index fund. If your horizon is more than 10 years, it's the best thing you can do. Stay in, dollar cost average, and that's it. Don't worry about it. You get exposed to the entire market. Missing just 10 best trading days in a decade cuts your lifetime returns by more than half. Those best days almost always come immediately after the worst days. So time is your best friend. Just hang in there. You can look into the defense stock as well. Companies like Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, Raytheon. They're exactly the kind of business that wins during this geopolitical tensions. The defense stocks have already outperformed in the last year on rising military budgets, and the demand is not just war-related, it's structural. The US government is spending over $1 billion per day on this war. And these companies win when military budgets explode. And this is the time where budget is exploding. You can even consider the energy stocks like Chevron, ExxonMobil, Shell. Energy stocks are a direct inflation hedge right now. But you know what the best part is? All these companies, the defense and the energy stocks that I've mentioned, all these are part of the S&P 500. So just by getting an index fund, you are getting an exposure to all these companies. So there's no other better way than an S&P 500 index fund. It's a no-brainer. But if your horizon is between 3 to 10 years, I would say add some gold, maybe the GLD or IAU ETF. Just getting some exposure to gold as hedge and rebalance away from tech. Just don't be too tech heavy. Just be resilient. And if your time horizon is less than 3 years, I would say observe the situation, keep an eye what's happening around, and keep your capital on the side. If you're too scared about putting your money, and if you haven't actually experienced this market downfall yet, it might be daunting. So keep your capital aside and observe what's happening. You can get into some index fund, small amount, just to get a diversification. But since your time horizon is very small, under 3 years, I would say keep your capital aside and just observe the situation. But regardless, whatever your time horizon is, I would say don't be emotional. Don't make any emotional decision based on the news headlines. So you have to understand, the investors who panic sell during this time, they're basically funding the gains of the investors who are staying calm and composed during this time. So which one would you want to be? To stay calm, right? This is the time you have to be calm. I know the world is in chaos right now, but there's nothing we can do. We just have to be calm, and we hope and pray, the war gets over and we get peace. War is always tragic. There's millions of innocent people getting displaced, getting killed. It's blood everywhere. Wherever you see the news, the social media is just bombarded by these things. But imagine the actual people who are there, who are suffering. Think about them. I wouldn't think much about what's happening to my portfolio. Yes, I'm scared, I'm anxious, but I'm so lucky to be not in the war zone. So my humble request to you, if you have been watching all the way till this point, try to donate to the people who are suffering, who are in the war zone. Anything helps. I'll put the link for MATW Project and Muslim Aid Australia, and if you know any other organization who helps them, just mention in the comments so that the people who are watching this video will know and donate. I hope this video helped in any way. I just want, let there be peace. That's all. Thanks for watching.